want to get out of this sin-infested cesspool and enter eternity with God, where we no longer have to struggle to live and behave. But Jesus' humanity teaches us something extraordinary. Right now is part of eternity. This sin-infested cesspool of humanity is our species. Right now matters. Being human matters. Now, I am in no way attempting to diminish Jesus' divinity. Quite the contrary. If Jesus is not divine, the hope of eternity through him is meaningless. But we often focus wholly on the divinity of Jesus while subtly diminishing his humanity. And this gives an incomplete picture of Jesus, in whom we see the human and the divine occupying the same space at the same time. There is no evidence that Jesus' plan was to become the caricature of a supernatural super person. What we find in Jesus' humanity is less about supernatural ability and more about normal humanity. In living with humans as a human, Jesus was showing us what it's supposed to look like to be people. People who are fully alive, whole, and human. Who are utterly dependent on and deeply intertwined with God. What if we were to look at Jesus as the most normal human who ever lived? What if we realized that the process of sanctification, of being set apart, of becoming more like Jesus, doesn't mean escaping our humanity, but rather becoming fully human again? This book is my humble attempt to make the flesh become word, to help us see Jesus for who he was and is. This is the Jesus I know. These are some of the things I've learned from the human God. This is my love story, and the love story offered to us all. And together we're going to look at Jesus through the lens of the Gospels and explore the reality of his humanity and what it says about our own. May we all be delighted and surprised at the beauty of the Savior. And may we all find in Jesus, the human God, just what life could be. Chapter 1. Advent. On brokenness and wholeness. God's movement is often abrupt and unsettling, rather than predictable and settling. Michael Joseph Brown. Long ago, in a land far away, there was an unspoiled garden created for a special purpose: to cradle and nourish the most captivating of God's creatures, humans. Among all the intricate life born out of creation, the plants and the insects, the birds and the beasts, these human creatures were unique. They were godlike, crafted in the image of their Creator. God had indeed breathed his own life into them, offering them living souls. And to these exquisite creatures, God bequeathed the earth in all its elaborate wonder. In this time, before time was being counted, these humans lacked nothing. The world was without conflict. Everything was in harmony. All was perfect and whole, as it was intended to be. This essential state of being would later have a name: Shalom. God's peace and order were perfect in all places, at all times, and in all things. Wholeness was completely normal. Upon these human creatures, God bestowed incredible abilities. In collaboration with their Creator Father, they could in turn create other life after God's image. God also gave them the gift of a will, one of the most powerful of all gifts.